Good morning. It's May the 2nd, 2016, and the May Day celebrations were everywhere in the old communist countries. It's Workers' Day, May the 1st, and may they ever be kept at their present station in life, right? No, that would not be what they would be, the propaganda that would be coming out for them. It's absolutely amazing that when you look at how politicians of every ilk couch things and how they describe things. It's almost like in our country, if it's an affordable a law that's got the word affordable in it, it's not going to be affordable. If it's for protection, it won't protect you. It's just one really faint after another. So anyway, all the old communists and people that used to live in that and people that aspired to live under that were pretty happy yesterday. It is Monday morning. It is the start of a new month. April's equity markets ended on a low note, but higher than they were the previous month. So as far as equities go, treasuries are pointed higher this morning. I think it'll all swing on which way the E-mini goes. The E-mini found buyers below 2050. It's at 2060 right now and is pointed higher. I think if the E-mini goes higher, it will cut into financials today. The news overnight was not strong economically. China's PMI manufacturing came in at 50.1, so officially they're not in contraction. That was lower than forecast. The PMI numbers out of the EU were split, with Switzerland and Spain's positive, everybody else is a negative. For the EU as a whole, it was up 0.2, so they can point to that and say the economy is expanding. And then today we're going to have PMI manufacturing at 51. ISM index, which is where people will pay attention, at 51.5. This number could come in lower than forecast. Construction spending has been missing every month. Again, it's called up 0.5%. It usually comes in, usually as a miss. And then I guess it's going to be the direction of the E-mini. And one of the news articles that I read had a headline, all the economic news was bad over the weekend, and stocks are in the green from Friday's close. So we'll see how that happens. Right now we're dealing with peas. Market should try to trade higher. We've got resistance that we're at resistance right now at 5.5, 6. So the 7 to 11, let them get stops above the overnight session, will be sell 1. Right now it's pointed higher. It's going to be failure to take out 12 and hold that level. And then 15 to 19 for sell 2. On the buy side, 29 to 01. Lean against the buck. And then 21 to 25. And again, it is Monday morning, and the markets tend to start out a little slow on Monday mornings as everybody figures out which way they want to take it. The tendency for Monday mornings is for equities to trade higher. And if that is the case, it should cap the rally in treasuries. Looking at the 30-year, definitely dealing with P's from Friday, and we have put all this together. We're dealing with a P with a new move up starting in T period, so we should go higher. So 2024 going to be number 1. 27 to 31 sell 1, then we'll jump it to 7 to 11 for sell 2. Big contract moves a bunch. Currently at 15, 8 to 12. Let's make it 6 to 10 will be 1. Try to buy the 29.01 area for buy 1. And then 17 to 21 for buy 2. Give it a little extra room. Gold finally got to 1,300 bucks. You know, if we used to poo-poo Bank of America's research because it was driven by Merrill Lynch's research department, and if there was ever a firm that was out of step and missed their calls, it was Merrill Lynch back in the old days. But Bank of America said a couple of months back that gold was headed for 1350 to 1550, and we've been talking about getting to 1,300 for quite a bit, and here we are. So we've got resistance at 1304, 1305, and failure to take out and hold 1305. And we don't really like the short side of the market. It'll be sell 1. That's probably the easiest trade to see. The 9s to 11 will be sell 2. The breakout basically came at 1,300, so 12.99 to 1,300. Make it 98 to 1,300 for buy 1, and then 93.95 for buy 2. And given what's going on in the world, oil prices, Venezuela, the Middle East, governments, how are we going to pay for stuff in Europe? One of the bailout fund that was made for Italy, I think one bank sucks up 40 to 50% of the entire amount of money voted to shore up Italian banking. So, when you look around you, it's don't find a lot to be comforted by. And people are voting with their wallets and buying gold. Okay, the euro is up, made it to 115, I believe. If memory serves me correctly. We'll find out here in a moment. Yes, we did. And you can see we haven't been above, for the last 180 days, this 115 level. We actually have been above it, but that's where we find ourselves. So right now, 115 even, 115.05, sell 1. 15.25, 35, sell 2. On the buy side, 14.75 and 14.50. Crude oil. Iraq's production reached record levels. I put the first article we put up this morning was about perhaps the direction that Saudi crude and how they're going to market it will take. And you can see that 45.50's held up pretty well. But the gist is that Saudi Arabia is the world's lowest cost producer, and they're going to they're changing their marketing from selling to large, well-financed, well-capitalized refineries to smaller refineries, and they've set up terminals Egypt, Okinawa, and Rotterdam to do such, which means they're going to market to less financially stable companies to increase market share. And again, their objective is to drive high-cost producers out of existence. And I think there were 2 more bankruptcies in the United States oil patch over the weekend, and the Halliburton-Baker Hughes merger was called off. So tough times. I mean, this is depression for the oil patch, not recession. And so, but the price that most people right now, the bulls in the crude oil market are betting that United States shale production will dry up, even though there's a lot of it there that could be brought online quickly, and other marginal producers will have a hard time competing. So I think that thinking is flawed. If you can get it out of the ground and sell it for $1 or 99 cents or whatever it happens, whatever you can get, if you're in trouble, you're going to do that. And that's why oil production goes up. It's cash flow. That's why all these countries are selling as much crude oil as they can, because they need the cash flow. So basically 46 is where resistance starts, then 46.50, and support at 45.50 to 45 and a quarter. Still dealing with a P. The best sell would come above 46.50. Right now the best buy would be against 45, and we'll see how it shakes out. Okay, the E-mini. Yeah, I don't have a strong feeling, and I mean it would be hard to have a strong feeling, so we'll just kind of let the technical indicators drive us. You can see right here that we're holding above the trend line. This is the 50-day, 200-day moving average crossover, which is bullish as long as we're above the 200-day moving average line. A lot of institutions can point to why they're buying stocks, and you can see that we have a seller basically above 20.90. So a buyer below 50, a seller above 90 is where we find ourselves, and we're pointed up this morning. Like I said, I can trade from either side this morning. Don't have a real strong feeling. I think the cleanest breaks up here in this 68 to 70 area. So got this high right here at 70 and a half. We have the spill from 68. We've got stops above the overnight session high. So we'll just put out maybe a 69 to 71, sell 1. 74, 76, sell 2. Not look for a big day. We have the Gallup consumer spending measure. Last month was 89. Don't know what it is going to be for this month. They'd like to see it higher. PMI manufacturing at 51. ISM manufacturing at 51.5. And construction spending at plus 0.5%. All of those numbers could come in lower than forecast if the recent economic news is consistent and reflected in these numbers. Hard to trust the numbers anymore, though. It's just okay. We're at 64. The first buy is at 61 to 58. And then 50 to 55. And like I said, I don't have a strong feeling. Don't really know. And on Monday morning, sometimes it takes a couple hours for the direction to shake out. So we might look at an hour, first hour trading, 5 handles, 5 points. It's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that. I will see you as soon as possible.